Hello, everyone. My name is JD Calderon, and this is Indy Comics Explained. Yet again, I brought on another fantastic group of independent comic book creators. So please hit like, hit subscribe, share out the video, let everybody know we're here. Without further ado, I'm going to bring on this guy because the other guy, that dude just disappears.
He's watching. He's watching WrestleMania. They're all watching WrestleMania.
Is that what's happening? Is that what's going on? I thought WrestleMania was over. I thought Brock Lesnar lost and he retired and whatever.
Yeah, but that's like match 3 or whatever. So it's still got a ways to go tonight. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. Well, good for them. As the British say, was it ballyhoo for them, right?
Ballyhoo.
Ballyhoo for them. Whatever the hell that means.
Yeah. So, all right. Yeah, that's what's happening.
All right, cool. Let's bring on the first of our guests.
WrestleMania. Hey, everybody. How you doing? Randy Zimmerman here, Arrow Comics. I'm currently writing the Tales of the Atlantean that you can find over at fundmycomic.com, the 4th volume. The campaign ends in 5 days, and then it's off to press. So everything's ready to go.
All right, cool.
Howdy. I'm Anthony Christou, the creator of the Luminous Ages series. I'm on Kickstarter right now with Luminous Ages Volume 3, Dragon Ascension. So I'm just having breakfast this morning in Australia here, so...
There you go.
What time is it over there, actually?
It's like 9 a.m. 9 a.m. 9 a.m. from I'm like south of Australia, so...
Right.
I'm in the true land down under, so...
Gotcha. I mean, it's a 13 and a half hours.
We're a simulation, apparently. Some people think it's not real, so...
Right. As long as you don't have scorpions and funnel web spiders attacking you, you're fine.
Actually, I've got a funny story to tell you about that later, but yeah, we'll go into the comics first. But
all right, cool. Because it's the one thing you always hear about Australia. Everything will kill you. They're just like, okay.
It can if you're not careful. It can. It depends where you are. You just gotta keep your house clean and make sure snakes and spiders don't crawl in. Yeah.
I live in New York, and we paved everything over with concrete because we hate nature.
Yeah, that's fair.
It works for us,
Yeah.
And they still get the occasional snake and spider.
Well, yeah. Well, most of the snakes come in human form, but
Oh, that too. Yeah. You get that.
Yeah.
Look at this. All right, everybody. So it's we had the show question, and the show question is, what do you think you deserve in indie comics, right? And I did that one with tongue in cheek, right? Because the question is meant like not so much what you think you deserve in indie comics, but it's so much a thing of what do you really want out of indie comics, right? Because all of us feel like we all deserve something, right? But what is it you really want out of indie comics, right? And then, but what is it you're really getting, right? There's a big difference, right? Like I know what I want, but I know what I'm getting. So there's huge difference, right? So, Anthony, you're in the hot seat. So, please, what do you think?
I mean, a film deal, a movie deal, everything, like a video, the whole lot. Nah, I'm just joking. I mean, for me, that would be nice. But for me, what I really want is expression, like to be able to express a story, be able to create my own universe and world and just have fun with it. I've been creating my series since 2016. Like I said, Vent of Volume 3. It's really Volume 4 because we've done 2 anthologies and an illustrated novel as well. So for me, it is just creative expression and having fun, get escapism, almost like being a film director without having to spend $20 million on making a movie. So for me, it is that, you can do what you want. And I think that what I like about indie comics, or what I have liked, is that you can make something and you don't have someone on your back telling you what to do. You can make it. It's not like working for a client. I mean, the clients are the customers. If they like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. But you can at least say you made a comic on your terms, And like as an artist, I've worked for other studios, so you got to do what they want, which is fine. But doing indie comics, you get to express who you are, what you are, and have fun, and just do the craziest, wildest idea that you want to do, that you think will work. And not even that, not about what will work. It's like, hey, if you really want to whack a fox chasing a dog and then a dragon coming out and doing, fighting them as well, or whatever it is you fancy, you get to express your imagination. So I literally have a page like that in my comic right here. But I guess, you just get to do what you want. And, obviously within reason, you don't want to create a pile of a turd and polish a turd, but you just want to, you get to make something and have your artistic vision. So for me, yes, that's a payoff. That's the passion. That's why I do it. That's why I love it. And we're talking about now trying to fund a comic on Kickstarter. This is it here. This is an idea.
Right.
I guess that's it. That's in the summary. This is the latest book. This is volume 3 right now. So this is the print copy. It will be a double page spread. This is a proof copy, sorry, from the printer. But this is probably a better idea. I literally have goblins on ships fighting dragons and wizards, all that sort of stuff. So high fantasy, and so like crazy mazes like that.
Cool.
So, but yeah, I guess that's part of it. And even like some people question me, why are you doing comics? If they're not profitable, or I want to make a profit out of them, but I do it for the love of it. And it's like you can do art and make profit, and do things that make profit, or they're easier to make money in the creative ventures. But if you don't have something that is kind of but that's a whole. We're getting deep and personal here, so I'll shut up. All right. Yeah, I could go on forever about it.
All right, that's fair. Randy, what are your thoughts?
Everything that Anthony said. 100%. Just want to be read. And I'd like to tell some stories, like to entertain and be read. That's the ideal thing. Everything else is extra. It'd be nice to have the extra.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd be happy knowing that I was read.
Okay. But is there like, what else are you seeking? Or what else would you like, to come of it?
More time, more books. Yeah, I'd like to produce more. That's the big thing now is trying to get off my ass and get more work done.
Mm-hmm. All right. That's fair.
Comic work, that is. So
right. Yeah. No, of course.
Yeah.
That's cool. How's the monkey going?
He's still there.
Still there?
Yeah, still looking strong.
Okay.
He's within arm's reach. So,
all right, but are you working on it though?
I've been looking it over pretty much, but that's about as far as it's gotten lately. So,
gotcha.
What's this? What's this about a monkey? What's this?
I back in the early 2000s, I did a 3-part series with a cartoon monkey named Spank, called Spank the Monkey on the Comic Market. And since then, so much time's passed, so much has happened. Learned a lot. I'm looking at redoing it again, and I'm doing a basic history of comics. I'm about 40 pages in, and I've just got to World War II and Wonder Woman. So, and in comic form, I'm having my monkey explain the history of comics.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and I read the the original 3 issues, and I enjoyed them. So I'm waiting for more.
I know. And I appreciate the nudge.
All right. Tom, what are your thoughts?
I'm distracted right now.
He's watching WrestleMania.
I'm dealing with an artist, and that's what I want is artists. Slow your roll. If you get an edit, it doesn't mean you've been disrespected. It doesn't mean you've been thrown to the wolves. It doesn't mean you've been thrown under the bus. It means you didn't do something in the context of character or whatever that needs to be fixed. And you say, okay, we can make that adjustment, whatever it is. We try and do those edits as early as possible, as we're going through the process of like layouts and so on. But when you get to the end, if you ignored what we were doing along the way and you turn something in and it's like, oh my God, man, like you gotta stay with me. There's a certain allowance for, artistic modification and artistic, whatever that you want to do. Certainly artistic license. Yes. It's absolutely room for that. But, if a character's a brunette and you color her blonde, it's not going to work.
Right.
And we have to fix that. And that's not disrespecting you or your work. That's just, you didn't do it.
Didn't follow the brief. Follow the brief.
So it's like, and I would say probably 90% of the time, the artists that I work with are like, oh yeah, got it. And they just go right in. But every now and then you get these guys that like just take it so personally that, they reach the end in their mind and there's still something else to do. And it's so frustrating because I'm like, what world are you living in artistically that you're working for somebody and you're not working to give whoever's paying you what they need on that back end, that you just can like turn it in and walk away and be like, oh no, I did what I was supposed to do. No, but you didn't. So it throws me off sometimes when that stuff kind of happens, because I can get really excited about like, oh man, I really want to work with this person and I really like what I'm seeing and let's do something together. And then it just kind of is like, I don't know, man. I don't know. So I want less of that, even though that's a small percentage already.
Right.
I want less of that. I want artists to really understand that this business requires working together and understanding what somebody tells you, and that has to get followed through. Otherwise, you're not going to draw Wonder Woman blonde or something, right? Like it just doesn't make any sense. So, just listen to sort of the direction, listen to the edits along the way, and so on. And then 99% of the time, when you're at the end, there's probably not going to be anything that you need to do. And we'll be good to go. So there's that. The whole market has just, I mean, we say it all the time. The market's changed, the economy's changed, everything's changed. I don't know what the market is anymore. I feel like I used to have sort of a finger on the pulse and have an understanding of what was going on in the market, not just within indies, but just sort of in a generality. But everything now is like, I don't understand. Here's the perfect example. I don't understand why the Absolute books are popular. I don't understand at all. Absolute Batman, that kind of stuff. I don't get it. Don't understand it. I accept that it's like not for me, whatever. That I don't care about. But I'm like, and here's my point. If Absolute Batman or Wonder Woman or Superman or whatever, if those books were created and existed and produced without Batman, Wonder Woman, or Superman, but they were the exact same thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Would anyone care? Or do they only care because it's a modified Batman? And so that's where I start to have these kind of weird struggles. Is our industry, not just indies again, but is our industry going into this weird space of like, well, these characters have existed for 50, 60, 80 years and no one cares anymore. So we're forced to put them into these extraneous situations in order to make them appealing to a modern audience, right? And that's what I'm saying. Like, what is the audience that is coming up? What are they looking for? We've talked about the manga and the anime stuff. Those guys came up with that stuff. Maybe that's what they need in comics now. And so like the Wonder Woman, to me, Absolute Wonder Woman is very manga inspired anime with the giant sword and stuff. Like, so do we, and maybe this goes into my question and we can come back around to this as the question, but once you answer yours, but
right.
Do we as creators have to understand that the people that are coming up, the young audience, they are in such a different world of design and sort of storytelling style and so on, that we almost are forced to push ourselves in that direction in order to gain any of that attention. Right now, as creators, we're all kind of like we just talked about. Well, I just want to make my own stuff. I want to tell my stories, and that's all fine and dandy. There's nothing wrong with that. But we have to look at it as, if we want to take another step upwards, what is it in the world that this new audience wants, sees? There's the hyper aggressive. There's the hypersexual. There's, and then there's just sort of like the stuff in the middle. And stuff in the middle right now even seems like just normal stuff. Spider-Man stuff in the middle, Batman stuff in the middle, but absolute or ultimate or my tits are hanging out. Like, that seems to be kind of like where the hard drive for the audience is right now. And then the older folks, they don't even care. They're buying Hulk 181, all that kind of stuff. They're just sticking with their classics. They're not even concerned with it. They've moved on. So I feel like we are maybe at the most separated and split, segmented audience that comics maybe has ever had, with the older guys going one way, folks that came up with what we have kind of doing it the way we do it, but we're not in any of those hyper camps. And then there's people coming up that are like, well, I grew up with people with swords the sides of buildings. That's what I want. I want to see that stuff, So where does that leave us? I don't know. I don't know, if I answered your question. I'm on a rant. I told you I'm distracted right now. There was a lot in there.
Yeah.
We can come back and dissect it later.
I was just curious, the artist you're working with that's got you distracted, it sounds like someone you haven't worked with before, like they're new.
Correct. Yes. Somebody new. Yeah. And I felt like things were going right. We were doing all the layout, like this is good. This fix in the loose, rough stuff. So we're not trying to finish it on final art. Right. But then it's like we're getting towards the end. It's like, no, the colors are wrong. Like something's off here. You're not looking at the reference. And it's like, geez. All right. So
right. Gotcha. Okay. I mean, listen, I've suffered through similar things. So
yeah, it happens. It happens. It's a small percentage. I'm not coming down on artists here. It's a small percentage, but some of them take it hyper personal when you tell them, well, we have to fix something.
Right.
And it's not personal. It's all business. That's it.
Yeah.
It's
all of
business.
Course. Yeah. Well, one, it's all business, and two, you're the client, so you want it a certain way. And you hired this person thinking that they could do it the way you want it.
Yeah.
Right. So, and that's just what that is. All right, cool. Now, let me answer my question real quick. This is somebody, Al Davis, or I don't know. I'm hoping that's not AI Davis, but Al.
No,
Davis.
He's Al. Yeah. Call him Al.
Yeah, I want to ask his question. I want to pull up his stuff so maybe we can ask him some of the stuff he's asking. But real quick, I mean, for myself, similar to everybody else, I want to be read, but in wanting to be read, I would like obviously higher numbers, right? Across the campaigns, just more outreach, more of everything. So then that way I can produce more, right? I can pay my artists more, right? Because there's always, a struggle. And it's that sort of thing, because I'm not doing my own artwork. I'm just a writer, and I'm just, and I'm paying the artists, and the artists do rely on me to pay them, right? And it's crazy because I'm not accustomed to having, I don't know if you guys have ever experienced this, but I've had in the last few weeks a couple of higher end artists reach out to me and say, yo, do you need a cover? I have X and I'm willing to give you a discount. And I'm having to be like I'm doing this. I'm like looking around. I'm like, hey, do I have something? because I want to take advantage of the discount, but I also want to give them the work, right?
Yeah.
So there's like two separate artists I had to do that for, and I find it a little crazy because the two people are two of my best-selling cover artists, and I'm like, how is it you're struggling, right? But they are, right? Like everybody else, So yeah, it's one of those things. It's crazy. So all right, so listen, I want to pull up Al's thing real quick. And he says, "Hey guys, I kind of feel that that there aren't enough places, shows, centers for promotion of indie comics. Yes, and for example, a really popular show or even personality that shows off is able to show off indie comic books, right?" He continues, as an example, Jordan Hembrow was doing a TV show called Toy Hunter that sort of gave a personality face to the indie fan collector side of the industry community.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, I don't know. I remember the show Toy Hunter.
Toy Hunter, yeah, but I don't know what that got to do with indie comics. Like he was doing indie comics on Toy Hunter?
No, I think what it is more a thing of like, I think maybe because I haven't watched all the episodes, maybe on the show he was giving some or like you were seeing some indie toys as opposed to maybe indie comics.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Maybe the indie toys on there,
Yeah.
Well,
there are people that talk about indie comics. I mean, that's a thing. You see people on TikTok all the time. There's people that do reviews. The problem is just like anything else. If it's something that most people don't know what it is, it's hard to get them to check into it. That's why Absolute Batman works versus here's a new character that has a axe on his chest,
right.
because nobody would know what that is. They might still get a kick out of it, but it's not like saying, "Oh, this is Batman now."
Right.
So there are definitely social media people that talk about comics all the time, but they mostly will talk about in the indie space. They'll still talk about guys that are doing like Something's Killing the Children and that kind of stuff. Not the step below that, which is where we are.
the space we inhabit. Yes.
Yeah. Right.
And then he continues. Agree with Tom to the degree if Invincible is still being released monthly now, or was a newer comic release, it'd be a massive hit, and those new Batman comics wouldn't have been produced by DC. I don't know. I think DC was still producing, but then he continues, and depends how mainstream or edgy, personal or trippy, conventional or non, you make your own comics. Understanding the audience is what is missing is different or new or unique. There you go. That's true. That's why things like Stabity Bunny, have a decent market share because people like Stabity Bunny because it's very weird. Audience has changed, and media has changed. True.
Yeah, this is very true. Yeah.
Cheers, Randy. It is Alistair.
Okay.
I want to point out, like, I was just at two conventions and I'm promoting my book in Australia, right? And we do have a passionate comic book fan base, and people love comics. And I literally was telling staff, tell people about the comic. And we've even launched a video game with our comic. Like we're releasing my artwork as jigsaw puzzles. So if you back my book right now, not doing a plug here, I'm just saying, if you back the comic for $15, you get the comic and you get access to my Steam 2 puzzles, right? 2 packs with all my art from the world. Anyway, point is, I ask people, like I'm literally asking the young ones, middle age, all people. I literally go, do you read comics? Like if they're buying an art print from me, because I sell everything from art to dice to D&D books to gaming mats, the whole, like I've gone into the whole merchandising with my art because I'm an artist, but I make comics. Like, I mean, I've been making comics. These are all my books since 2016, hardcovers. So it's quite a lot of books. But what I'm hearing is like, when I talk to people, there might be like 20% of people who say, I like comics. And then you go, well, check out this, right? You show them the pages and they're like, wow, that's amazing. And some people will grab it and then they'll back the Kickstarter. But then some people will be like, yeah, it's not my vibe. I read science fiction or I read Batman. And then you get some that will be like, I only read manga. I only love manga. And then some, but this is like manga. It's Middle Eastern comics. Like, try and give them a different spin on it. It's not, it's painted in a European style. It's not like American comics. It's more, European style or, that kind of region. You know, it's like if the Middle East or Greece made a manga, that's what this is, you know. And still people are those so like narrow-minded. A lot of people are like, I only want manga. And then there's people that are like, I only want this shit, you know. And this is the problem, like you're talking about, you know, with the segments. Like there are people that are like, will only get I only collect old comics and the old artists, you know. And then you get people that are like, they love fantasy. Like there's one customer goes, I love Yaros, this author that did a romantasy, she's gone viral or whatever. And I'm like, well, if you love Yaros, you love me. I'm Greek. You know, we both wrote a fantasy series. Oh, no, but I don't read comics. So my brain just can't read comics. I read books. You know, and I was like, well, F you. Like, you know, like for not trying something new. But what you can't say that to a customer. You're like, okay, have a nice day. Is there anything else you like? Oh, yeah, I like it. And they buy a print. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's just, and this is the problem is readership is becoming so segmented. Then we've got social media competing with us. Then we've got video games competing with us. There's so much media and there's so much saturation. And I think what DC Comics are doing, like, you know, is they've got the money, they've got the power to go to research and go and try different things. They've probably they've been releasing comics for years. And like in the last 5 years, they probably had a lot of hits with, you know, Diamonds shutting down, all the changes in the industry themselves. They probably made a lot of losses. And they probably got more money to invest than us and try something new, like you said, something that's got more of an anime vibe. And they just like, well, this is working. We're going to do Batman in this style. So it's about evolving. Like me, I'm like, well, how do I evolve? If I'm not selling this, do I evolve this into something else? You know? And I'm thinking of like doing art books now. Like I'm going, well, if this doesn't fund or barely funds, I still love my world, but I'm going to go like, there's a book called Tegan. There's a book called Fairy Fault Lines. They're illustrated books, and they just have like a paragraph of story with it. You know, it's like an illustrated novel, so to speak, but it's heavily art focused. I'm like, well, then I'm not going to give up on my passion. I love creating stories, but maybe I do have to change the medium, and I don't. And then maybe when I blow up and make millions, I can be like, I'm coming back to comics, and I'm going to hire people and look after people. You know, but it's just this is what it. I think that's the problem is we are saturated. Like, I mean, even social media. I've gone viral on TikTok. I got 200K views on my art, right? How many sales I got from that? Zero. Fucking zero sales. I had multiple viral videos. Like I had 60,000 views. And it's just, there is so much content. There's so much stuff. And if you're not providing, like all it was I basically did a trend, like a David Tennant video. It was a nerdy thing of a painting before and afterwards. And made great. It was like a comedy video and people love that stuff, but it's like they don't want to buy from that. So you have to constantly change and find a way to sell your stuff, but it also gives people a lot of attention. Like it draws people in and they're interested or offers value, you know, and this is like, social media is constantly changing. All the media is changing. It's just like, I get you guys, like, we just want to make books and it's just, that's the challenge, you know, I guess, you know, I'm venting too, man. That's probably
a good thing. There's only 4 of us, you know, so we can vent all night. Right?
There you go.
The idea of value is an interesting one to me because I get it. We want value for the money that you're spending and so on and so on. But what's interesting is that when it's Absolute Batman, they're not interested in value. The value is the collectability of the piece, right?
Yeah.
It's still a 20-page book with 14 variants, whatever, like anyone else can do. But then when it comes to indie stuff, there is sort of an expectation of, well, what am I getting if I buy this book? Do I get a free sticker? Do I get a free print? Do I get a whatever? I'm like, well, you're getting the comic. Like that's what we're doing. We're selling the comic here. We want you to buy the comic. We want you to read the book. We want you to enjoy it. If you happen to like the art and get a variant cover, certainly grab one. But it is weird that there seems to be like this extra needed piece for someone to buy an indie book. Well, what do I get? What else do I get?
Weird question. Has Batman, I know that Batman's gone nuts, but has it been this year that it's really gone peaked? Has it really starting to go nuts now?
Last year is when it went,
you
know, what it really went crazy. But at the same time, here's the reality of that thing. Like they're talking about like it's selling 400,000 units. Okay, great. 400,000 units. However, it doesn't mean you're selling that to 400,000 people.
Right.
Because Absolute Batman, well, all of them to a degree, but especially Batman, has become a hyper collectible. I watched a guy on TikTok who had a couple of short boxes, and he was flipping through the two of them. Both of them were the same Absolute Batman issue. I don't remember what it was. It had something with the Joker on it. Both of them were the same issue. He had 20 copies of it. They were all graded and they were all CGC 9.8. And he was just like, look. I'm like, okay, so that's 20 copies that guy bought off of that. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So if you start to do the numbers and you start to think about like, okay, how many people are actually buying Absolute Batman versus what does that number mean versus, buying 20 copies at a time?
But it just doesn't matter as well in terms of it going up in value. Like even if you go, all right,
that's what I'm saying. Yes, because if this guy has 29.8 copies, like then the collectability is collapsing under its own weight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, it's not going to go up in value because if there's that many printed as well,
and one of the things I heard is that people aren't even buying the book; they're buying the grade. They're not buying the 9.8. Right? Mm-hmm. That's really what they're buying. So you could probably grab some indie comics from the 80s. If you got a 9.8 for it, you're going to sell it at a premium because it's 9.8. And it's going to be rare regardless. Right? That's what you're buying. Right? Because even out of a print, like we've all gotten cases of books. Right? And if you crack open a case, the top, that's, you know what I mean? They're like, condition. The ones on the bottom, condition. So ones in the middle, that are going to be cherry, right? And how many of those are going to be 9.8s? Because even then, you're going to have little variations, the little frayed edges or whatever. They'll bring it down to a 9.6. So it's that whole thing, right? So it's like people are buying that 9.8, which is what I find really weird. And then how much of this is just market manipulation, right? Like we saw the whole thing with Dork, right? Come out. Yeah. Good looking book. I'm looking forward to the trade. I'm going to buy the trade when it comes out because I buy trades. But I'm not interested in buying, issue 1 at $500. I don't think it's worth that.
What's interesting? What's interesting is this is obviously was he an indie creator? Like the creator. I saw Dork as well. Like, is he? How did he get viral? Like, how did that become popular? Like, what was it? Well, I know he's published with Image Comics or Dark Horse.
He did. What is it? I Hate Fairyland. He did a few issues of that for Scotty Young. Yeah. And that's really the only thing I know him from, or because I don't even collect that book. I just know that's what I've heard that he did. He's a good artist. I look at this stuff, good artist, right? Got a goofy title, right? Dwarf Orc Dork. Okay. Goofy title, right? Think of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Why is it? Goofy title, right? People hooked onto a goofy title, right? And there are other examples.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Going into Goofy. Right, this is one of my top selling paintings. It's just a duck with a hat on it, like exactly.
A jack. Right, because that's a universal picture. People who like ducks love it. People who love who loves magicians love it.
Well, I didn't think it was going to be. I wrote that in 2020. I wrote Quackerjack into my series in 2021 in my illustrated novel in here, and I didn't think it was going to go nuts, but it did. That one painting. So I wrote a 150-page illustrated novel, and I put this one character in. He's part of a group of 10 enchanted creatures, and it's like one of my top selling prints, So go copy me and make ducks now. No, I'm just joking. Make it as many ducks as you want. But the reality is, like, I was talking to someone even at Supernova about it, and they're like, there was someone at Gold Coast selling duck figurines, right? But in every brand, I don't know if they're in America, but it's like a duck that's like looks like Frodo, or a duck that looks like Gollum, or a duck that looks like Batman. I don't know. Like, obviously, because it's parody, you get away with it. But these were figurines where they were custom made, and they were creating their own like pop vinyls with ducks like that, and they were going nuts. And that's what he's saying. Like some people that are just doing this, the absurd. People just want absurd stuff now. It's just weird. Like, and it's the younger generation. They want funny, quirky, maybe because of what's going on in the world. Like, you got to think. I released my Duck in 2021 during COVID, or just after COVID, as COVID was ending. And we're living in dark times, and maybe people just want fucking funny shit, or they want to be distracted by fun stuff or silly stuff or big boobs, like, you know, whatever it is. You know?
Right. Yeah.
But the thing is that's been around for a minute. Like I said, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, it was 50 years ago.
Yeah.
Right, or 40 years ago, whatever the hell it is at this point.
Yeah.
Right?
But maybe all the extremes are what are distracting people, and nothing in the middle.
And we live in the world of Pokemon right now too. So anytime you're doing like animal things of any kind, you're going to have an audience that's already attracted to the idea of, oh, it's an animal that does something, right? So that's part of the dork thing, is that it's you know, it's all these mythical, you know, D&D mashup things, and D&D is really big right now too. So dork has a lot of layers of elements to it.
Yeah.
But you know, market manipulation happens whether we want to believe it or not.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's the old story of Platinum Comics that literally told stores to buy hundreds and hundreds of copies of Aliens versus Cowboys
Yeah.
so that they could be the number one book for a given month, and they just basically paid everybody back for the books that they bought. And they got their number one. They were the best book over Marvel or DC. They took that to Hollywood, said, look, we beat Marvel, we beat DC, we beat Image, and they got a movie made with Harrison Ford and freaking James Bond in it. So you know, there's ways to play all of this stuff, and you know, sometimes we don't know how it all really happened until many years later.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the craziest thing, is like, you know, you have market manipulation, right? And the thing is, we don't know how much of it is market manipulation. I guarantee they say it started with some YouTube guys or big channels. Yeah. They went out there, they probably bought a couple hundred copies of this book, knowing that it wasn't like it's going to be one of these books that's going to be a marginal seller, right? 15, 20,000 copies, not a lot of copies within comics, right? Yeah. They probably bought a couple hundred. They said, all right, let's crank this baby up. And that's what they did. And one of the things that I found really curious about the conversation is that these guys, they go to Midtown Comics, right? And they say when Midtown Comics sells out of a book, that's the book that they choose to ramp up. Because they are the largest purchasers of comics in the country, right? So that's how they know. They're like, oh, they're sold out. Boom. Now we can start selling this at X and X and X and X. And the fact that it just caught wildfire. I mean, listen, good on the creator, man. I mean, I'm happy for him. Like, the dude's made a ton of money. The only thing I can tell him is I hope he holds on to his cash. You know, don't do anything crazy. Just, you know. Normally I would tell everybody to just invest it in the S&P 500, but at the moment that's a little nuts too. So
there you go.
Oh, what are you talking about? It just hit a new high. Of course.
well, now's right. See, that's the problem. It hit a new high.
Well, yeah.
I mean, time. You should have bought it at the low, but you know, it's one of those things.
They don't call them bubbles for nothing.
You gotta just be ready for the long haul.
Yeah.
You know,
you gotta be ready for the long haul. Of course. All right. Well, Tom, you got a question?
I gave it to you already. Like, what the fuck are we doing? That was the question. Like, what?
Oh, okay.
What, you know, what do we have a sense of? Well, first of all, again, we all agree that we're here to make our own books and tell our stories and do. That's the internal. This is what we want to do. We want to tell our stories. But if we're looking to sort of do a dork type of thing, obviously being with Image changes everything for you, potentially, not always, but it's a help, obviously. But just from an understanding, trying to understand the market, what are the old guys doing, what are the new kids that are coming in, what do they want, and then where are sort of the guys that came up with the 70s, 80s, 90s, us, what are we doing? Because I feel like in a lot of cases we're just aiming at ourselves, which is fine. We're here. People are buying our stuff, right? But if we went not so much one way, because we can't make old books, but if we started to figure out, like, okay, what are these people doing? Like, give Wonder Woman a giant sword, right? Anime stuff. Is there a way for us to look at that and say, I can tap into that if I want to? Not that we have to, but just is there a sense of like, okay, I'm going to make these things, but if I make something that might tap into another market that's an active market like the anime manga crowd. Again, not something just for it, like something that you still want to do, but you can understand like, hey, I want to do a story about, I don't know, dragons, right? But I want to market it in a way that it's going to be attractive to the manga and these kids that are coming up with a whole new world with social media, with the manga stuff that they grew up with, all this kind of stuff. Is there like for me, I write all kinds of things. I have dozens of different genres. I'm all over the place, but I don't know that any of it really would be like, if I showed it to a manga kid, the only exception is Critter. She does cross over into that realm just because she's the cat girl thing. And so that already happens. But I don't do anything else where I could be like, hey, look, here's Scheherazade. Like, hey, look, here's Legend of Oz. Like, here's Penny for Your Soul. Like that audience isn't going to care about those. So thankfully I want to write Critter. And so she's got crossover, built into her, which is great. But are we willing to push ourselves in that direction? Or do we just stand in our own sandbox for however long we do this?
All right.
I mean, I think it's good to adapt. I mean, if you're constantly, if things aren't working for us, or whatever, they're not taking off like we hope they are, it's about evolving and being creative and constantly adapting, but obviously not selling your soul and doing something you really hate,
Right.
It's a balance,
Exactly.
So
yeah.
And because if the market's shifting, it's shifting. Like right now, Kickstarter is broken. Like I remember 2016, I launched a book. You got funded with no audience. Like, I had an audience. I had maybe 30 fans, but I got 100 backers. Now I'm sending literally all my fans, 33 fans that love my stuff, probably more. But then like whether they're not buying because of the economy right now or whatever it is, it's a struggle. And so like, where do you find your audience? Do you go down the publishing route versus Kickstarter instead, or like you said, do you pander to what people want? I think you've got to make a compromise though. Like if you pander too much to what people want, you're not going to love what you do. You have to love it.
Well, and I think that if you pander too hard, they see it too.
Right.
Like that, and that's what I'm saying. Like if you just have an idea, the idea is just, can I tinker with it a little so that audience might be interested too?
Yeah.
Randy, what are your thoughts?
I've been wrestling with all of the questions that Tom was asking for about the last, 10 years, probably before COVID. That's why I started that paper. It was because the direct market to me was not making it. And we were literally pretty much invited not to come back by Diamond. So wanted to do something. Tried my own apparel business here local. And when that wasn't working, I got involved with the local political paper doing their cartoons and figured out maybe I should do a cartoon newspaper. So we did that, advertiser supported, for 100 issues. And it worked out really well, but Flint had a water crisis and a lot of the mom and pop stores were our backbone advertisers. We were doing the paper and giving it away for free. And when that went away, we lost Australia.
Yeah, we lost Australia.
Perth is gone. But
Australia really is fake.
Yeah, he probably got attacked by a snake.
Yeah. But anyway, I've been looking and playing with different markets, and so associated with fundmycomic.com, because we saw the troubles that were happening with Kickstarter and Indiegogo and all of the political BS that we wanted to get away from. And looking at digital, I stumbled into the writing gig doing the Atlantean with Russ, and that seems to be giving us a bigger reach from other countries, because that genre of book is picking up, especially over in Europe. And I think you're going to start seeing a lot of independent spirited machismo books, you might say, springing back in. Surprisingly out of nowhere.
You've got that black space cat character.
Mischievous, yes.
Yes. That is an easy character to modify, I think, into a manga anime style and still tell a story that works within what she is anyway.
Oh yeah, yeah,
That,
absolutely.
see, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I've even thought about like, okay, do I just take Critter and just literally do a manga of Critter? Like whether it's an adaptation of the same story, whether it's a completely new story, and I have both. Like I've really thought about to this point where I can go two ways with this. So that's what I'm saying. It's like, especially you, because you've got a deep catalog.
I've got character sheets on all of the. I just put together a style guide for Aniverse because we're collecting everything together, which we should have done last year, but that's a whole nother story. And I'm going back over those characters. Yeah, I agree. They could be adapted over to a manga anime style real easy. And the characters are still evergreen. Yeah. You know, and going back through and rereading that stuff, a lot of times you sit there and you go, who wrote that? And sometimes it's good and sometimes it's terrible. But yeah, it's been interesting going back over that old stuff from like 2 lives and 4 generations ago. You know.
Well, you know. But listen, but we do have something from this life in this generation. It's called the Atlantean. Do you want me to play the video?
Yes, please. Go ahead. All right. Just using my dramatic voice.
In the time before Atlantis sank, when the lands of this world were savage and untamed, one man would claim his destiny, seizing his place as a king. After defending his throne and learning the devastating truth of the Serpent Kingdom and its deadly cults, King Kull and his right hand rule the Spear Slayer, make a solemn vow to hunt down and destroy the hidden empire of these serpent demons. These are the tales of those journeys. This is the Atlantean. Tales inspired by the brilliance of Robert E. Howard, featuring his first barbarian characters as introduced in the pages of his classic tale, The Shadow Kingdom. Each volume contains beautifully painted covers and around 50 pages of original black and white art and story, featuring classic sword and sorcery adventures you don't want to miss. Join us on these epic adventures. Sign up now for news with the email list at russleach.com. Bring your axe and prepare for battle.
Nice.
There we are. This is volume 4. You don't have to have the first 3 in order to follow it. Everything's meant to be read individually if you want, or all together. They make a nice little string of journeys with Kull and Brule as they travel the land. Kull is traveling incognito. He doesn't want anybody to know that he's king, but he's getting an education about this new Volusia that he has become the king of. So as he goes along, looking for the rest of the shadow demons, the shape-shifting reptilian race. So in this particular volume, we adapt the only other story that Robert E. Howard wrote of Kull that was printed in his lifetime, and that is The Mirrors of Tuzan Thun. And we also have a story that wraps around that and puts it into our continuity, as well as a backup story of Lethal, who's that page that you're scrolling on right now, who is a great, fun female character we introduced in the 3rd volume. So we are looking at stretching things out and kind of building a little universe of our own here.
All right.
There are a couple of catch-up tiers in the campaign. As easy as, I think it's like $55. You can get the omnibus with a phenomenally painted cover, just beautiful. One of my favorite covers, and that collects the Shadow Kingdom and the first 2 Atlanteans, and also get the 3rd and 4th Atlantean volume at once. Or you can pick them all up individually, or multiple copies.
Very nice. Listen, man, I love what you guys are doing. I mean, you know, I get all the books, so I really enjoy these.
I'm glad you do. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, when
we're really proud of what we're doing, and Russ's art just keeps getting better and better every issue.
Yeah, I mean, are you doing what is it? Are you just going to be? I keep forgetting. You doing quarterly or triannually? Yeah,
we were looking at doing quarterly, but right now we're looking at doing probably a larger volume for the 5th volume, and finishing up a few of the storylines that we've got started, and seeing how things go from there, and maybe releasing an omnibus of it, doing a Kickstarter campaign to see if we can hit a wider audience. we're just starting to get the attention of the Howard community, and it's all been just super positive, receptive, and we're really happy to hear that. It's kind of a big sticking point of mine when Russ asked me to, continue past the Shadow Kingdom and create new adventures. That was kind of a bit intimidating, but I think we've got a good handle on it, and we're growing things out and incorporating what little of Cull that is still in public domain that we haven't incorporated yet, and then going on from there.
Gotcha. All right, cool. I mean, and then, so currently, I know you have it, obviously you're printing it here in the US. Yeah. But you also have it, what were the other countries? I know you're doing Brazil. What are the other countries?
For the campaign? Yeah, the campaign is printed here in the US, and also Russ has got a printer over there to handle the European material. But we're currently translated into Portuguese for the Brazilian market. Red Dragon Press it's been kicking out some just crazy, great sword and sorcery books. Then we're over in Denmark, and I don't remember that publisher. And we just signed with a Russian publisher to be translated into Russian.
Very nice. All right.
So cool. we're looking for news on all of that right now with Bated Breath. It's such a great thought that to be able to expand that audience out, especially with a genre like this that is accessible.
All right, cool. Listen, I mean, like I said, great stuff. Always, what I find really awesome is that you guys are getting into other markets, and I mean like other world markets.
Yeah.
Because I know it's possible, but you still got to make those contacts.
So we're still hoping for Italy, France, and Spain. So
there you go. Don't worry about it. They'll come. Anthony, we thought Australia fell off.
Yeah, nice to see you back.
Yeah.
Bad internet. Sorry about that.
Yeah, that's all right, man. It happens. Do you want me to play this video?
Yeah. Why not? If you want to, it's all good. Yeah.
Okay. It's not like 50 minutes long, is it?
3 minutes, 2 minutes, I think. 2 minutes or 30 seconds.
I'm Anthony Christou, the creator of the Luminous Ages comic and novel series. I've been crafting the Luminous Ages series since 2016, and now we're celebrating 10-year anniversary with Volume 3. We have created many Luminous Ages comics, stories, and card games, as you can see here, and funded and delivered to all our past backers who we are so grateful for. I'm coming to you with our fourth major book, Volume 3, Luminous Ages, Dragon Ascension. Now we're bringing you a 48-page graphic novel packed with adventure and excitement. We are now continuing our main series. We are back. In this story, we follow Thrakos on his hero's journey to the dream world of Neurostrios. Thrakos is undergoing the dream transmutation, and as a captivated wizard, he can trap enemies on a page, but he can't control those powers quite well yet. But he must reach the dream world in time, the dream spire, or else he risks turning into a nightmare being. Along the way, he faces numerous challenges, and even considers giving up. But with encouragement from his mentor and friend Arturius, and memories of his past victories, he presses on. Thrakos has liberated creatures from the labyrinth of Etheria, secured powerful artifacts, and defeated monstrous foes. He's also helped free the Enchanted Ten from the Tavern of Dreams, or Grumpy Lion Tavern, and in Volume 3 he encounters numerous dragon gods and faces epic battles, ultimately reaching the Dream Temple of Neurostrios, or Reshepia, but not without a cliffhanger that sets stage for the comic books to come. We're excited to offer digital stretch goals, including remastered editions of Volume 1.5 and Volume 2. And if we reach high goals, we'll do reprints of our old printed books that are out of print. We also plan to enhance this book with beautiful embellishments like spot varnishes, and offer exclusive stickers, postcards, and commissions, as well as original art from the series that hasn't been released before. Everything is crafted by hand, by me. There's no AI involved. So we hope you will join us on this epic journey. Thank you for your support, and please help us spread the word. Indie Comics needs your help now, and we can't make this book without you. See you there.
All right, cool. All right. Very nice. So Anthony, walk us through this. What are we looking at?
So this is Volume 3, the cover for Volume 3, the 48-page graphic novel. I've got a printed sample just to prove that I have done it all, done the work. I'm just coloring 4 more pages, but yeah, it's pretty much ready to go. Yeah, just gorgeous art like that. In this book, it's been a long time coming because Thrakos basically was our main protagonist, has been trying to control his powers, but he finally gets this dream well, and he's got to climb his spire and get baptized in his waters, or else he becomes a demonic entity. So he thinks, but something happens where there's a big change or an upheaval, and basically, finally, my readers are going to be able to figure out what is going on with Thrakos, what is actually happening, and I'm going to end the book on a reveal, a final reveal of everything. We're also launching. There's 50 more backers can get our puzzle. So if you go up again, that's out. We're actually doing a jigsaw game on Steam. We're partnered with a local developer in Adelaide, and if you back it for $30, you get a print, a bookmark, plus 2 access codes to our games, our puzzle game, which is all the Luminous Ages art done in jigsaw puzzle form. Really fun to play. And so you get early access to the game before it goes live as well on Steam. But this is all the stuff. That's Quacker Jack is one of the characters, so in the series as well. So yeah, it's just that's it. Like I said, we're about 40% funded, I think. Be nice to be fully funded, but it's comics, it's a grind. And it's just I'm just ready to go. It's got really good reviews. Matt Stawicki from Dragonlance, Magic the Gathering, Tyler James has given a review. Wild North Comics, and customers do love it. People love. If you like fantasy, adventure, mythology, you're gonna love this. The premise of my world is there's 3 schools of magic. There's the Luminaries, the Captivaries, and the Chosen. The Captivaries can draw and capture an enemy or an object on a page, or even an entire town or city as they level up. They draw and capture things on a page. The Luminary draws and brings creatures to life. There's a third school called the Chosen. They can wield dream artifacts, so very powerful artifacts without any penalties. And there's mystery around that school that apparently, like, they could be fighting a pack of goblins. And as they're fighting, they might start thinking about bulls, and all of a sudden a stampede of bulls comes charging through the dungeon, killing off all the goblins. So they have the kind of like the power of manifestation through physical combat. So kind of like they manifest things, but they're not. That school doesn't know how to control it, and it's kind of a prophecy. They think that So, but that's basically the world of Luminous Ages. 13 gods as well, 13 dragon gods, and So that's about it. No VAT taxes on comics, guys. So don't worry, you don't have to pay the VAT tax on comics. So that's why I've come to comics as well. I was like, hey, I better do more books because there's no VAT tax. Trump hasn't taxed that yet. So hopefully I better not jinx it. Huh?
No printed material yet. So.
Yeah.
Hopefully it stays that way. Listen, gotta appreciate the Koch brothers for something, or the brother that's left.
Yeah.
Because trust me, that was his influence. But as a whole.
Who was that? Whose influence was it?
The Kochs. They're 2 they're 2 huge billionaires with a lot of influence. Right. But there's only one left. It was originally the Koch brothers. There's only one left. So.
No, okay, and
what it is he owns a large printing business, and a lot of it comes out of China. So he uses influence to make sure there's no tariffs on that stuff.
Yeah,
Vaughn, nice to see you, brother. How was your trip?
It was good. Sorry, I just got back. But I was at an anime fest, so it was good. And then it's one of those, we were outside, and then it got really cold. The weather in New Jersey has been insane. So it was like beautiful spring weather yesterday, and we're outside, and it's great. And then today we get in, and it's pouring rain, and it's cold.
Yeah.
I don't know. Mother Nature is just going through something right now. I don't know what's going on, but otherwise things have been good.
All right, cool, man.
I think someone said they could imagine a bestiary in my world. I have done that. I've done a D&D book, setting guide and campaign. I literally have got a 60-page, like a 300-page book as well. So D&D book's right here. Sorry, and it's filled. It's jam-packed with stuff. So sorry to interrupt like that. Sorry, but
no, that's all right. That's it. Listen, I mean, but I got your links in the show notes, so everybody be able to pick that stuff up. All right, Vaughn, Phenomenova.
Oh wow! I just got another one. All right, thank you. So Phenomenova is set 20 years
Hold
after
on,
World War.
hold on. The video. Do you want to play the video?
Yeah, video first. Yeah.
My name is Miles Hanksley. I am Galvanite. My names are synonymous with failure because that's all they know. They don't know how hard I've worked since the reactor. Today, I will prove that I'm not a failure. I am worthy of joining Phenomenova.
Very nice. All right. I like it, Vaughn, because I know you're already back from a show, so you're in pitch mode. So go for it.
Yeah, so I apologize about that. Intended to come earlier. But yeah, so this is Phenomenova. It's a superhero story set 20 years after World War III. Follows a brand new generation of heroes. The first few issues, we kind of saw him building up, then we introduced the team, and now we're really bringing things together with 4 as Miles is trying to prove that he's worthy and redeem himself from his failure to join this team called Phenomenova. And so we're kind of seeing him, like, I wanted to do something cool with the training rooms and really force these characters who they're kind of at odds. Some of them feel some way about Miles, some a different way, but they have to ultimately work together to stop a bigger threat.
All right, cool. So it's issue 4. Is this a completion of an arc, or is there more to this
That's
arc?
what I'm planning. Yeah, this is the completion of this first and it was like a 9-issue arc, and then as I was rewriting issue 4, because I was so proud of issue 3, I'm like, okay, I can level up issue 4. And then I was like, you know what? This is a trade ending here. So yeah, this is going to be the first arc, and then we're going to move right into the next one after this one. So yeah.
All right, cool.
Which is exciting.
Now the entire story encompasses 9 issues, or is there?
Well, it depends on the entire. I mean, it's going to be an ongoing story, so the entire story will not be done for a while. But like the second part of this, let's say there's like arcs within arcs, if that makes sense. So it's like this is like the first portion. Like this could be read on its own, these first 4 issues. But then there's like some more, like part 2 would be like 5 to 9. And then, but yes, yeah, so this will basically be like my first chunk is these first 4 issues. So I'm really excited about that.
All right, very nice, very nice. Now you just got back from a show, so how was the show for you? Like, how are you doing at shows?
I've been doing great. This was the first slow show in a while, though. It was a slow show, but that was otherwise I've been doing nonstop. Like the sales have been really good, but this is the first slow show in a while. So I was disappointed at first, but I was tabling with a friend, so we hadn't seen each other in like a while, so we just kind of hung out, and I still sold what I needed to sell. So
okay, well that's good. That's good. Now, moving forward, all right, let's say you got 4 issues now. At some point, do you plan to release this through the direct market? Is that something you're looking to do?
I probably have to do things differently. I would love to, especially, I've talked to Phil Russert. Obviously I never have it on my shelf when I need it. My first published work was through him. It was a 10-pager. So, I mean, it would be great to get out through him, but I would love to. I'd probably have to do something different. Like my first issue is triple size, my third issue is double size. So I'd probably have to like do something. But I would love to. I just have to make sure economically it's viable. And if that's the case, then oh my God. I mean, to see my stuff on the shelf, if I can make it work economically, yeah. Right now I'm doing the cons and the online stuff, but I would love to one day go online. I mean, go through direct market.
Gotcha. All right, cool. You're in Jersey?
Yeah.
All right, gotcha. So, Midtown Comics, Forbidden Planet,
Oh, yeah. Jay and Silent Bob's is my LCS. So I've put my stuff is there. They might be sold out. I might have to resupply them. But they'd Jay and Silent Bob's, they're my LCS, so they're great.
Gotcha. Now, when you sell them, are you giving them like what's the cover price on them?
So it's the same as the campaign here, except for the variant covers. Those are always higher priced at shows because those are meant to be limited. But I don't. Some people destroy extras because to make it. I'm like, I can't do that. So I sell whatever's left over for the printer. I sell it like a higher price at cons until they're gone. So and these are gonna be limited. So if you want any of these single issues, I'd get them on here is the best way, and it helps towards the stretch goal. Also, if you're an artist and you're watching this, we do have an art contest.
All right, nice. So what does the art contest consist of?
So if you scroll up a bit, the rules are there, but basically you draw any Phenomenova characters, an illustration like that. You just make sure, obviously, no AI, no nudity, and the winner gets their piece printed in the book. We saw that the first 3 issues, and we're seeing that again with the 4th.
All right, very nice, very nice. So let's see, where are you at? All right, well, you've already funded. Yeah, 17 days ago, 204 backers, very nice.
Yeah.
Your response, very nice. Now, where do you find most of your backers are coming from? Do you think that are you getting a lot of crossover from conventions?
At the last con, yeah, but I mean conventions, I should really check because I know the thing about it is like, so I've had people come up. Some people have found me through Twitter, some through Facebook groups, some through Discords, some through YouTube channels. I go on a lot of shows. Obviously I'm on one now. It really, it's kind of interesting. I don't think it's any one place.
Right.
Which I like personally. It's like, it makes it obviously when I'm promoting that I have them like an octopus. I got like my, but it seems, I don't know if I could place it in any one place, but conventions, I have noticed a tick up in conventions. Even I have a QR code, and at the last con I was at, I got 2 backers from that con. So, like I said, it's all over. I think everything is ultimately
feeding in.
Yeah.
All right. Very nice. Very nice. Well, like I said, man, you got another 17 days. Awesome looking book. 204 backers. You crushed your goals. So everybody go check this one out. It's a great book.
Thank you.
Yeah. Very nice. Very nice. All right, cool. Real quick, I'm going to pull up a couple of things. Try to make these fast. This is a book that I'm publishing for Rod Espinoza. Rod Espinoza is out of the Philippines, so you can't do Kickstarters. So I'm doing it for him.
Oh, wow. Really?
This is Adventure Finders in Volume 1. This is a 240-page graphic novel that's going to have, or a trade paperback that's going to have the first 5 issues of the Adventure Finders. And this is like an expanded story. So if you've seen it online, it's going to have more material in it. He's had some of this stuff printed through Antarctic Press. So this has even more material than that stuff. So he's really filling out the story. So you're going to get more bang for your buck for this story. And it's available in a trade paperback format. It's also going to be available as a hardcover. You can get remarks, signed editions. And the thing is that they're all tip-ins. So because I got to get them from overseas. So they'll be tip-ins, but they are available. So, and here's some of the artwork, and he has, some really awesome looking, he does a lot of these double page spreads and they look great, And Rod, this guy really knows his stuff. He enjoys, if you like Dungeons and Dragons, if you like Lord of the Rings, that sort of thing. I think this is going to be right up your alley. So go check it out.
That looks awesome. My artist in the Philippines, so I don't know what they're drinking there, but they've got some great artists. They do. Amazing.
Yeah. And then I have Magi's Grace. This is issues 1 through 3. This is a second chance campaign. So if you missed the first one, you get the second chance to check it out here. And I just got some. It's Magi and Grace. They're a team of monster fighting duo. She's a sorceress. He's a monster fighter. And whenever cryptids and the Supernatural have a problem, these two people are contacted to help deal with that, because we have vampires invading Innsmouth. Those are the fish people out of H.P. Lovecraft, and they are going to going in there to solve that situation. I have covers. Rod Espinosa was kind enough to do one of the covers for me, so that's there. And I have a bunch of other covers, Lena Dye and a bunch of other people, so you can go check it out. So there you go.
All right. Man, that love Lovecraft, so this is right on my own.
All right, cool. All right. So I got a hypothetical for everybody, right? So how would you handle this situation? If a producer, a film producer, movie producer, whatever, producer out of Hollywood comes to you and says, "Hey man, I want to buy your property X, doesn't matter what it is. Property X offers you life-changing money. Not, like $500,000. I'm talking about life-changing money, $20-30 million. All right, we're talking about life-changing money.
Or you're talking about true hypotheticals, because that's not happening.
Yeah, this is
no, we're already in fantasy land, guys.
Yeah,
like I was thinking like $1 million would be your hypothetical, but you're like, no, we're back in 1992 where everybody's buying everything.
About real life-changing money, right? Because the reason is that, all right, where I'm in New York City. So if I tell you it's $250,000, that's only 25% a deposit on a normal house. Right. I mean, like regular.
I think this is a great question, but let's make it real.
No, I got two. No, wait. I got two portions to the question.
Okay.
Two portions to the question. So one is a little bit more realistic than the other.
Okay.
So let's say you're offered life-changing money. Would you sell your IP? Or would you take deal number B, which pays you much less money, right? But you get a little bit of control. The thing is, portion A, you get no control. You sell your IP. You're done. You walk away with your bag of money. You're done, right? Or the other deal is you take much less money, maybe maybe $100,000, but you do have a say in what happens in the property, right? That's the other portion to the hypothetical. So I mean, like,
yeah, but I still think it's a more interesting question to take 20 million down to, let's say, 2 million.
Right.
Because 2 million, you might get that if they really think they have something with marketing and toys that they could build into it. Like that's a number you might get in that regard. 20 million, I think we're all going to say we'll take 20 million. How many properties do you want to take?
Well, Vaughn is young.
I'm young and stupid enough to think that I'm too good for two. Talk to me in 20 years, I might be like, yeah, I'll take the 20 million. But I'm arrogant.
In 20 years, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
I'm arrogant enough where I'm like, I got to keep it. Now, I probably would regret that.
That's correct. That's the correct answer. You need to.
But I'm self-aware enough to admit that I'm like, I can do that. Well, it's not even that I can do that.
And that's what I'm saying. That's why the interesting question is, because for the rest of us who've seen, because there's a lot of comic movies that have been made into movies and stuff that most people don't even know were comic books. Like The Surrogates was a comic book. Do we even know what that is? The Bruce Willis movie?
No.
Right? Nobody knows what that is.
I know
it failed, right? But whoever made that thing got some kind of chunk of change out of it. So I'm sure he was relatively happy. So, I mean, I'll just start right now. If someone wants to drop $20 million on me and I've got 10 properties sitting here and they want to write me a check for $10 million per property, let's go. Show me the checks. It's not even a question because there's more up here that I can just, you want another one? How many do you want for $10 million a shot? I'll keep bringing it to you. But here's the other side. Now, the other side of that coin is we all kind of want control over what would happen to it, right? Like that's certainly something that we would want. But $20 million changes everything. Sell 10 properties, $200 million. It doesn't matter what you do for the rest of your life. If you change the question to, let's say, $2 million, now we have to start talking about it. Because like I said, if you have something that has more than just, I'm going to make a movie and then we're going to make a movie and we're done. But now we're making toys and puzzles and board games and T-shirts and Funko Pops and all of that. which for anybody that remembers George Lucas wanted $500,000 for merchandising. That's what he wanted. And Fox was like, you can keep it. And that's how that guy made his billions of dollars.
Yeah.
Is off of merchandising. So that's where it all comes from, right? Is if they're going to be like, here's $2 million, go away. Are you making toys? What kind of merch are we talking about on this property? And that's where I think the question gets interesting, because $2 million is still life-changing money, really. I mean, obviously where you live, it goes further than other places. But even so, even if you're in New York or California somewhere, $2 million changes who you are when you're talking to the people that are in this room right now. And so I think that in that case, I think it would depend on which property that they're talking about, because there are probably properties that would be like, you can have that one. But if they're going to be like, well, we want Legend of Oz, we have to talk about something else. Now we have to talk about a different contract. I might take that $2 million, but we have to talk about back end points, merch elements, things of that regard. So yeah, I think at $2 million, it depends. At 20 million, I'll give you as much as you want.
Gotcha. We know Tom's selling point. It's like Tom could be purchased. That's all right. Listen, Mark Miller was purchased for about the same amount. So it's
because here's the thing: at the end of the day, when that becomes a movie or a TV show or whatever, you can then translate even that into value for yourself.
Money. Yeah,
I'm the creator of that movie.
Check out my other stuff.
That's right. So
I think my anger with that, my only reason why, because I obviously, like, that's a lot of money. Is my whole thing is like, I just started this IP, man. You want it already? Like, this is my childhood dream, and it's like, I just got it. It's like, let me pluck it right. It's like, I don't know. So my pride is still.
I understand, dude. I totally understand. It's you're not in the wrong box of thinking where you're at right now.
You talk to me in 10 years when I've written 10 years worth of ideas. My mindset might change. When it's but it's like my main team is literally just coming together. They haven't even beaten their villain yet, and it's like, you already won it.
So Vaughn,
that would be that should be like an ego boost. If they're like, hey, we've done 4 issues, we want to give you $2 million, you'd be like,
well, I'd be like, all right, like, what's going on here? Is it like
but Vaughn,
what do you know that I don't?
How old are you, Vaughn?
26.
You're 26. Okay, when did you start doing your first comic?
Start doing it, or like
published?
I published it at the end of 2024. So
2024. So you were 24 years old.
26.
No, now, but you started when you were 24.
Oh yeah. Well, I was actually it would have been 25 because I'm born 99.
Okay. All right.
In the immortal words of Dave Chappelle, you don't know shit.
I know. Here's the thing. I know that I don't understand, and I know.
What's funny is because I started around the same age as you, right? Maybe probably a little bit earlier, but regardless, I had the same. When I was your age, I had the same exact attitude.
Yeah.
I'd have been like, no fucking way.
I started much later in age, but even when I was doing it in the early days, I was like, you can't have this. This is my stuff. I can't have. So I totally get where you're coming from, dude. You are not in an incorrect box of thinking. Don't worry. We're just giving you a hard time because we're all old and jaded, and we want $20 million.
No, I did. Listen, talk to me again when I have kids. My answer would probably change a bit.
Right. Yep.
Anthony. Oh my God! I got to give you props for the Halloween poster in the back. I just noticed that. I'm like,
favorite horror movie, and then Aliens is the other one.
Very good, very good.
Is that a Jaws popcorn bucket? I don't know.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh,
funny.
Now I have to come to your house and break in.
He's like, you have to go steal it.
Yeah,
dude. Just remember, if Tom backs your campaign, ship it from a PO box.
Okay, noted.
All right. So Anthony, I'm sorry. What are your thoughts on the question?
Good. I don't know. Yeah, that's an interesting one. Probably because I've already made merchandise and stuff. And I know, like, let's say someone came up to me and said, we're going to buy Luminous Ages. I wouldn't take the 20-30 million. I'd take like the lower amount. I don't need much money because I'm pretty much, my art's funded my house, everything, like as in I've been paying off my mortgage with my art, with my comics and everything. I'm quite comfortable-ish. I'd take a couple of mil, pay off the rest of my house, help my mum out, help my sister out. And I'd still be left with $1 million. And I'd just do a partnership where I have some control and I'd still sell the merch. And I'm 45. I don't have a wife or kids or anything, so I don't have to worry about that yet. There's still time for me, maybe when I'm 50. So, I wouldn't go for the 20 mil because I know like the value of my brand. Like I've been selling merch with my comics and that's what saved the day. Like it's like the D&D books. It's the dice I make. It's the little toys I've made, the figurines. It's literally the art prints. It's the puzzles. My licensing deals with puzzles. I'm already making money off that, I'm represented by Tate Licensing. So for me, even though I'm at 45 years old and maybe I should think about taking the 20 mil, and just retiring because, maybe there's another 15 years of work left in me. Maybe not. I don't know. Like the thing is, I've done all the horrible jobs. I've been a security guard. I've been a salesman. I've been a graphic designer. I've worked in customer service. And like, I want to do this for the rest of my life. You know what I mean? So if I could do it, and do it comfortably, like probably, I know I could work away, even if I've got $1 million in the bank, $1 million is paid off my debts and help my family, like my sister and my parents. I would I could probably still do shows. There'd be a movie out, so then I could use that to go to conventions for free. Like I already know all the conventions and circuits, so they'd be like inviting me as a guest. Like they'd be covering my costs now instead of me paying for that because I'll be famous as a creator. And so I'm not selling my soul, man. Like I don't care. Like 20 million. I've only got one IP. I mean, I've got lots of other ideas and lots of other great ideas. I think I just haven't had time to do them because I'm an artist, writer, and game designer. I'm doing everything. Like I'm not just writing. So, and nothing wrong with writing. There's a lot of work in writing, but it's taken me longer. It's taken me 10 years to develop 5 volumes. 4 volumes, whatever it is, 360 plus pages of comics. So for me, I don't know, but we don't know what's around the corner. So I mean, I have talked to producers already as well, also, and I've talked to these millionaires as well, and people are always out to screw you. I've actually talked to 5 millionaires about pitching this stuff, and the millionaires I've met, majority of them are narcissists. So you really want to be careful who you're selling to as well.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure. I want to make sure this person loves what I do. An investor or a millionaire actually likes my comics or likes my art, really, truly, truly likes it, and not just doing it for the money too. Because that's the other thing. Like you get someone that comes in and they're just doing it for the money. They're just seeing it as an opportunistic way to make money, which most of them are. Like you have to find someone that's got a bit of a heart, which is hard. So, it's really, I've already. Yeah, like Disney doesn't give you credit. Exactly. Someone's just said there, Disney doesn't give you credit. But like, honestly, this is a question that's close to home. I don't want to go into it. But, in the sense of I already know someone that's happened to them and they've made $130 million and it's family. I don't want to talk about it, but yeah. Right. So, and I've seen what it's done to them, the money and the fame has done to them, So, yeah, cool. But I won't go into it. I won't go into it.
No. My only question would be,
give you guys a hint. You can talk to me about it. Talk to me about it. That's the movie. Talk to me. So yeah, that's the hint. So yeah, I've seen it all happen, and it doesn't happen the way you think as a creator. You basically are going to get screwed over. Like most of the time. So most of the time, unless you find a really good company. So sorry, I probably divulged too much, but yeah, I won't say anything else. I'll shut up.
Right. That's fine. All right, Randy, what are your thoughts?
Nobody touches my monkey. But other than that,
not even the missus. Come on.
Well,
oh God.
So anyway, Other than that, I'd be open for negotiations, depending upon the property. Some of it I'm more attached to than others.
Mhm.
You know, somebody wants an idea. There's always, like Tom, I think, said, there's always more.
Yeah, there are more. My problem is I had so many that were just in this universe of ideas. So now I'm like,
Yeah. Yep.
Right.
yeah, I have other ideas.
I got a list sooner or later.
I'm like, if you any of my other ideas, we're in talks. I have like not this one, but my other IPs. Yeah, I could sell.
I mean, I got a list of 10 things that I want to do already. So if all of a sudden my slate was clean, I'd just be like, okay, 10 things are ready to go.
I'm not there yet. I have there.
Shelf. Yep, there it is.
That's why I should develop some other IPs once I get the chance. Just be like, I got another. And see that it's done.
Yeah. All right, that's fair. For myself, you know, it's funny. I asked this question, and I'm like so ill prepared to answer it because it's like, if it was the Oswald Chronicles for $20 million, I mean, it would be such a soul search. I'd have to go take a long walk. I'm like, and I might never come back. Like, it's one of these things. Like, I just have to take a walk and just think about it and think about it and think about it. You know, honestly,
there's also another factor. If you know World War III is definitely happening and we're going to be in a famine and all this, would you take the $20 million now before it all happens?
Well, that you know,
depends on the global economic climate as well, you know.
Exactly. I mean, listen, like, you know, like who knew to invest in NVIDIA 15 years ago, right? Like, you know, if I had that kind of prognostication, I would, like, you know, pick the best stock to, you know, that's going to be like, you know, this is going to fold over 10,000 times. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. Like I said, if it's Oswald, I don't know. It'd be tough because I'm not done with it. If I was completely finished, completely done, like I had all the artwork, all the trades are printed, everything's done, I might be like, yeah, go ahead, take it. Only because at that point, I'd be like, you know what? In some way, it will continue to live on because they're going to have the impetus to keep it alive for as long as possible and keep it out there, right? Like, I've already done my part. Those books will survive forever. And I'm pretty sure I could negotiate into the contract that the books will always be in print, right? Mm-hmm. And at that point, I think I could walk away. That would probably be the only point I think I could walk away. You know, where everything is done. I'm like, all right, I did my part, finished, I'm going on vacation. I'm going to live in Disney World for the next 2 years.
The question, I think, really is more, how do I put this? It's more like somebody here said, like, I'm selling my soul or whatever. So just for something we're talking about here, I don't know if you guys know, but Wendy and Richard Penny have been trying to get ElfQuest made into things for decades.
Ever.
And they just recently made a post, or Wendy did at least, where they said, that's it, we're done. We're not even talking about it anymore. This is our last post about it. We are wrapping it all up. And she posted a whole bunch of stuff of like sketches and things that had happened over the years of like, here's an animated thing they wanted to do, here's this thing they wanted to do, and so on and so on. And they just kept showing how Hollywood, whoever was doing whatever incarnation, Hollywood just kept messing it up. Even though it was done, like in the case of Oswald, right? If it's done, you have the story, you know it's storyboarded, just do it, right? And ElfQuest is like that, at least the original Quest, if you wanted to adapt that. So, but they kept messing it up, even to the point where they were like, well, let's just get rid of Skywise. We don't even need Skywise in this book or in this adaptation or whatever. And so they just said, you know what, it's not worth it. And in that context, they didn't just say, give me 20 million and we'll walk away either, because they had an attachment to it to a point where I think they had a sense of not just themselves, like this is what we want it to be for us, but I think they had decades of fandom behind them as well, where they're like, well, we don't want something to be produced that then the fans are going to be like, you know, this is some garbage. So I think for us, we're all still fresh at this for the most part. Nothing that we have has been around for almost 50 years like they've had. So I think that's where, for me, it's kind of like I don't have millions of people that have seen my books that would be upset if something was modified to become a film or a TV show or whatever, because it would be going to an audience that really doesn't know who the hell I am or what the book is anyway. So they would have a fresh set of eyes on whatever that media would happen to be, versus ElfQuest that has existed since what, like 1984 or 85.
No, 79.
Was it the late
70s?
78?
So there you go. Almost 50 years.
Brings up basically my greatest fear. Yeah, we'd love to adapt it. Just change. We're just going to change everything. It's like, that's because I feel like that's why, like, my company name is Rebel Oasis. So it's like, not ready yet. It was part of that. It's like, no. Because I've seen so many stories or heard so many professionals talk about, I created this character in the movies. It was this, blah, blah, blah. And it's, now, granted, if they got $20 million, they might feel a little differently. I don't know, but I still I don't know. It's just, I don't want to see my babies taken from me.
Yeah, Calvin and Hobbes could have sold huge, but Bill Watterson could have made millions. It's difficult. Tintin hasn't been merged to death and has sustained itself. Yeah, but I think one of the things is that Bill Watterson also sold those mammoth reprints, right? And he sold a lot of them in the hundreds of thousands, if not millions of them. And that's
what he find by himself.
That's his source of income.
Right.
Those reprint books. Absolutely. That and European syndication still. He's still big.
There you go.
And if you read that strip, it's timeless.
Yep.
So it's going to be around for a long time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So he's not worried about the only thing that I've read about Waterston is he wouldn't mind finding out who actually first started the little Calvin peeing decal on the back of the back of everybody's pickup. That's a little distressing, but other than that,
Randy, don't confess to anything to get you in trouble. Right. Tom, you got another question? Or you want me to continue?
No, go ahead.
All right.
That was a good one. I like that one.
All right, cool. Here's one for you guys. Give me a film, right, that was an influence on your work, right? And how was it an influence on your work, right? Because we all know, like I know, I have a film that I know is directly is affected by work.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I could say mine. I mean, right off the bat, mine, like the first Sam Raimi Spider-Man movie. I mean, even down to when I'd revise it, I'd look, how did they pace it so perfectly? The origin story. That was like the prototype. And eventually I would start reading comics, but it was stuff like that first. So, I mean, that's my easiest first answer. It's not my only one, but I'd say it's the most direct one in terms of movies.
That was Dave Stevens, not Gibbons.
Yeah.
That Gibbons is a whole different screw.
Yeah.
Anthony, what are your thoughts?
Probably The Labyrinth and The Lord of the Rings.
Okay. That's cool.
The original movies, so those two. And what's funny is my series starts with an L as well, Luminous Ages. There you go. No connection. No, I actually just realized that now. Wow. Must be something with L's. I love it.
Yeah, nothing wrong with it. Those are good films. Randy, what do you think?
I don't know if any one film, goes back. Just the big influence on me as a kid was probably those Saturday afternoon bad, sometimes bad, sometimes excellent science fiction films you used to catch instead of going outside and playing.
Oh, you mean like Laser Blast?
Like Laser Blast, like When Worlds Collide, and there you go.
There you go, Rosario. We got one in for you.
Yep.
That Logan's Run, that kind of stuff. So
I didn't realize that was a TV show. Also, later on,
very short run TV show. Yeah.
That's what I heard.
It didn't run very far.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right, cool.
I'll have to check that one out. I haven't checked out Logan's Run yet.
But yeah, any 70s, 80s science fiction movie you can find, no matter how low the budget is, has probably got some incredible value.
No, I mean I believe it. When I've heard nothing but good things about that one.
Laser Blast, some of the worst stop motion animation you'll ever see in your life, but it's worth watching the movie.
Wait, really? I thought Laser Blast is one of the worst movies of all time.
Well, it all depends on what you consider worth your time, you know.
Right.
Well, I mean, because I like So Bad It's Good movies. Is it in that caliber, or is it?
No. It's B. Maybe C.
You watch Laser Blast like you watch porn, right?
Yeah.
You fast forward until you get to the good parts, and there's about 4 good parts in Laser Blast. The very beginning, a couple of things in the middle, and then the ending. And the rest of it is basically a barbecue, a guy running around in a van that shoots a Star Wars sign, and not much else. Right. But when you get to the alien guys doing things, that's when you stop fast forwarding, and you'll be fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you see these little guys.
Yes.
Little guys.
Little guys.
Yeah. All right. I'm googling more.
No,
about it
there's like I said, there's always some redeeming value, even if it's the parts you zap over to. Those films, those days.
Right.
Battle Beyond the Stars.
78 was an insanely good year for movies and comics.
80s in general. Yeah.
No, I was saying 78 to like.
Yeah.
I mean, the 80s.
Well, yeah, the late 70s into the 80s.
Star Wars kind of kicked the door open for a lot of that stuff.
Well, 78. I mean, Halloween, 1978, Night of the Living, or Dawn of the Dead, which I was at Steel City Comic Con, and I get a message there like, "Oh, you know, Monroeville Mall, which is right next to you, is where they filmed that movie." And I'm like, "Because the convention hours, as soon as I go in before it opens, I'm out. It's over." I'm like, so I missed the mall entirely, and it's right there.
Yeah, and
next time.
I think they're destroying it or they're shutting it down.
Yeah, I think they've closed it up. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. All right, Tom. What do you got?
So I have a really specific, weird answer, but in general, I'm well aware that the 70s and 80s have put me on the path of all, because I do all different things: superheroes, westerns, horror, fantasy. I'm everywhere. And so I know that I've drawn inspiration from all of that stuff in sort of one capacity or another. I can't like look at a movie and be like, I made something because I like the Dark Crystal, but I know that there's elements of it that I'm like, oh, I liked something about this, and so it's just ingrained in me. All of that kind of stuff is just ingrained in me. So sometimes though, I'll watch something and I'll realize like, oh, like Critter does that. And I'm like, oh, I must have pulled that from, sort of out of the ether of like, oh yeah, I saw that I saw that in a movie and now she does that, for whatever reason. So there's things that pop in that I think are kind of funny that there was zero intention to be like, I'm doing that, but it still happened. But here's the weird one. And it's not so much an influence, but it was something that taught me something. Halloween 8, Halloween Resurrection.
I never got that
so
far.
There's a shot. So basically, the idea of this film is this is the early days of live streaming stuff in real world time. This is early days of live streaming. So the idea is there's this group of kids that are going to go into this house, live stream the house overnight, and people would watch. So there's a scene where the people who are running this are setting up all of the cameras in the house, so they can get the camera angles for the computers. And one guy is in there and he's setting up cameras, and the girl's like, "Hey, hurry up, get this done." And so the dude turns the camera on his face like this, and he's like, "Look, this is not like super easy stuff. Let me show you." And he has the camera right in his face, and he tilts the camera up. And he's like, "Look, a down angle, scary." And he puts it down so it's looking up at his face. Up angle, scary. Puts the camera right in his face. Straight angle, boring. And in that instant, that 18 seconds of this little scene, I learned about moving the camera in comics. How do I do that in comics? How do I move this way in comics? How do I move this way in comics? How do I change the visual aspect of the, yeah, Busta Rhymes. That's it. Busta Rhymes. Yes. How do I use that? And then when that happened, that's when I really started to use movies in a general sense of, okay, now I'm watching a movie, but I'm watching how it's being presented. I'm watching how somebody is presenting characters in a scene, how they're moving around the room, when they're showing me like a group shot from above, when they're showing me, you know, why are we close on his feet? Why are we close on his hand? So it kind of changed the way that I understood storytelling from that little clip. And so from that, as I go forward now, it's like when I watch a movie again for like the third or fourth time, I'm watching for more than the entertainment value. I'm watching because I want to see what these guys did, how they presented all of this information in a scene. And that has come across in my work because people now tell me when they talk about my books, they're like, I feel like I just watched a movie when I read your comics. And I'm like, that's good, because it's 100% what I'm trying to do is bring that sort of framing of information into the page as best you can when you can't move the camera. But they're like, yeah, it feels cinematic. And I'm like, yes, we made it happen. But yeah, Halloween Resurrection, starring Starbuck, by the way, from Battlestar Galactica. She's in there, Katie Sackhoff. And yeah, it's a much panned movie, but it's very fun. I always enjoyed it. And if you look at it in the moment of time that it was made, it's very organic to the time period of when it was made with that early streaming stuff that was going on.
All right, cool. For myself, I have a movie called Avenging Eagles, right? Which is an old Shaw Brothers movie, right? And it's about a guy who is going on a quest to redeem himself, right? So, and it's when I first discovered this story, I think I was like 12, right, or something like that. And I've seen it permeate, like these ideas and concepts out of this movie have permeated some of my work, right? And I've seen it come through and come out through the other end, and I'm just like, oh wow. You know, in rewatching the movies much later, like I remember finishing a story, so let me watch this movie probably like 6 months later. And I'm like,
martial arts movie?
Yeah, I was looking it up, but never heard of it.
Yeah, it's called Avenging Eagles. Yeah,
I thought, I was just giving what was closest to my comic, and then you guys all went on deeper destinations.
Yeah, there's another movie by it's a Stephen King film. It's damn it, it's one of the Cat's Eye, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's a movie called Cat's Eye. And I remember I watched the movie when it first came out, wrote the Oswald story, wrote his origin, watched that movie like 2 or 3 years later, and I was like, fuck, I ripped him off. And I was just like, holy shit.
Sometimes that happens, like you'll look at stuff and you're like, yeah, like this is my original idea, and then you rewatch something. I mean, I've had that happen. I'm like, wait a minute.
Well,
Do not tell anyone.
When I was first making Critter and I was figuring out the tail and the ears part, I was originally going to have it as some sort of like holographic element to it. And then J. Scott Campbell put out his Wildsiders book and did exactly that. And I was like, well, we'll take that away.
Yeah. There you go. That's exactly it. My first day. You know. But yeah, that's what I got for that one. So let's Tom.
So real quick, Vaughn.
Go.
I want to make this very clear.
Yeah.
No one on this panel has told you that you need to watch Laser Blast.
I am very much aware.
Okay, good. Because JD
list.
Rosario continues to tell me that I told him that he needs to go watch Laser Blast, which is a false statement.
There are other stories. No one has been like, it's essential. No one has told me this is essential.
Good.
I'm fully aware. I'm just wondering if, because there's this series, I don't know if you guys ever heard of this. This is YouTube. I wonder if he still is making it. It was the series called The Search the Worst by this YouTuber, I Hate Everything. That's when I first started learning.
Is that Tom's cousin?
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah.
I hate more than he does.
And he did, he would do this going through the bottom low 100 rated movies on IMDb to find the worst and rank them. and Laser Blast was one of the episodes he did. So I was surprised to hear anyone talk about it positively.
Oh no one's talking about it positively.
Okay.
That hasn't happened either.
Okay.
We talk about it ironically.
That's correct. We talk about ironically, yes.
Okay,
You're-
because that's why I was like,
You're scrolling through. You're just bored out of your mind, and you notice it on Tubi, and you go.
Then you put it on. Okay,
maybe Then you line up your gummies.
Just because I have the comic
There you go.
and the toy
There you go.
and the VHS
It's all.
And you're still telling me I
and the
don't need to watch
soundtrack.
it.
I'm
all
still not
nostalgia.
telling you or anyone
Yeah.
that you need to watch this movie.
It's all
Right.
nostalgia.
Noted.
If you want to watch a good old sci-fi movie,
Flash
go
Gordon.
watch them. What?
There you go.
Them? Did you
Flash
just go to
Gordon.
them?
Them, yeah, with the
Them.
ants.
Them is
Ants?
really good. Yeah.
That's a good movie.
Them, I'm curious because I like
James Whitmore.
That's
is
like
in
way
that,
old,
right?
That's 54, isn't it? That was like around. That's like older than the first Godzilla, isn't it?
No.
It's
No,
back there. I don't even know. It's a black and white film, but it's a
Yeah.
really good film.
No, I
It's-
mean I
it
love
is.
the original Godzilla, so I'm sure I'd
Yeah.
love that too.
And it holds up.
It's-
Them
here's-
holds up
here's-
real good.
Here's an interesting
Here's one for you, Robot
parallel
Jock.
to it here. So if you watch, you've seen
That was
Alien, you've
filmed
seen
not too far away
Aliens,
from here.
the
Yeah,
plural.
I've seen both.
Okay, so when you watch Aliens, and then you watch them, there are scenes in
They're
Aliens
right out of it.
that-
from what I've heard,
that
right?
Cameron pulls directly out of them. Yeah,
I've
yeah,
heard
yeah,
that.
yeah. Yep.
I remember seeing it side by side. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna
Yeah.
watch.
But not to just tear him down. Spielberg and Lucas did it too with Indiana Jones. There's things that they pulled out of old serials from way back in the day that are like, we just pulled this out and stuck it in there. Thing. So
Yep.
that's just like we talked about. Like, what's your influence and how do you use it? Some people can hide it well. Other times that stuff gets found and people are like, oh look, this is from there.
To me, it's also like I'll have a vision in my head, but I let my artist enough artistic freedom where I'll give them sometimes references from a movie or a comic, but ultimately it's different enough. But like Claremont stuff, I'll send obviously pages from that. Like sometimes images I like, but when it comes to movies, honestly there was a Shawshank Redemption reference I sent him for the first book. There was a scene I was like, I want you to evoke this, watch this scene. I want you to evoke this feel.
Yeah. I mean, that sort of thing happens.
I have a weird. I'm going to go weird and dark on you guys. All right,
Right.
is that all right? It's a weird question. What would you do? When do you pull out of a Kickstarter if it's not funding? Like what? Like would you? Would you like?
Well, they give you your money back if it doesn't fund anyway, right?
They don't take the
No,
money.
you
in
don't
the
get
first
it.
place.
No one gets charged, but I'm just saying, or do you do you grind until the very last minute, or do you just give up? Is there a point where you just give up and move on? Do you get what I'm saying? So like do you fight to the end and try and share it to as many people and get it out there, or do you just be like, you know what, I'm done. It's not funding. It's only 40% funded. That's what I'm at the moment. I'm just saying, like if you're in that position, what would you do? Would you fight to the end, or would you just be like, no, this is shit, move on?
Well, I think it depends on because
Right.
just saying 40% doesn't mean anything. 40% could mean you still need $300. You know what I mean? So in that regard, you just keep going and you try and get that $300. If you need $3,000,
Yeah.
then that now you're in a different situation. So I think it's very based on what you actually need and how much time you have left. But there's really not a reason to stop it unless you're just looking at a complete like, oh, we're a week in and we've made 12% of our funding. Then something's wrong, right? But if you're halfway in and you're halfway funded, you may as well just ride it out and try and make that shot and
Yeah. Do you go harder or do you go less harder on promoting? What do you do? Or do you like just let?
Oh, you gotta. If you're struggling, you gotta go. I mean, you gotta do whatever you can, for sure. It's sometimes it is a grind, and sometimes the grind is required to get it, especially if it's something that again, I think there's differences. Like if it's the first thing of a new series or a new book or whatever, and no one has any ideas of what it is, it's going to be a harder sell. But if you're like on issue 2 and it's crapping out, then you have a different set of. Now it's like, oh well, people bought the 1, but they're not buying 2, so they must not have liked number 2 because they're not coming back, right? So there's different mindsets, I think, based on a lot of different factors. To me,
yeah. Vaughn, you got any ideas or thoughts
in regards to like
at what point do you give up?
Yeah, no, I mean, because I this is a depressing thought that that I'm like if because at first I thought you said when you back a campaign, I'm like I wouldn't do that because it'll give my money back. But now that you're talking about one that I have, I would say if I could think of a way to reapproach it, because it's like once you sink the money in, you bought the covers and stuff. I'm like I'm making this thing, you know. If I messed up something with starting the campaign, maybe, but I don't know. I really don't know.
All right, fair enough. Randy, what are your thoughts?
On my campaigns, I always have a low threshold anyway, because the book's going to come out regardless. I really, with the Atlantean, we haven't promoted or started a campaign with the book not being so close to done that we knew that we were going to hit when we promised that we would go to press. So that's a big thing for me. If you don't think it's going to be worth the effort, don't do it. But that's like Tom said, it's a decision you have to make by the project and how much passion that you want for it. Are you willing to take a hit in order to get it out to the people, and maybe pick up more on the second one? Who knows?
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, because my question would be like, how many days do you have left on the campaign?
I think it's about 23 days or something, 24.
23 days. And how many, was it a 30-day campaign or a 24-day campaign?
30-day campaign, yeah.
30-day campaign. So you're 7 days in, you're 40% in.
Let me just double check
that. But not the percentage. What's the actual dollar amount you need?
6,000.
All right, so 24 days to go. 6,000 Australian. I'm at about $2,611. 32 backers.
So you need 4,000 more?
No, I need 3,500 more.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. 3,500. So, a couple of things. One, 30-day campaigns aren't really useful much anymore.
You don't think so? Because I was debating going down.
No, because you will see, it doesn't even matter, because I do 3-week campaigns now at the most, and that middle second week is still dead all the time anyway. So if you do a 4-week campaign, you're going to have a middle period. I'm not saying you won't get anything, but it's a very dead just period of time where you might pick up a couple and somebody might drop out, and it's just sort of a blib, 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 blib. And then when you get to kind of that final 4 or 5 days, you start to see a pickup again, because the people that have been waiting are like, okay, here I come.
Well, because I also figured the people that are going to wait to the last second are going to wait until in demand, and then and at that point, you get the money to your account right away, right? Is that the...
Well, if you fund, you get the money, of course. But what I'm saying is when you're in those 2 weeks of dead period, or 1 week for me, you're literally just sort of hitting your head against the wall, because you reach the people initially that were like, "Oh, I'm in, let me go," and that's usually the first 4 to 5 days where you get sort of the excitement, and then that's, unless you are one of those guys that can really turn this into, you have the personality to be grinding out on podcasts all the time, going live yourself all the time. If you have that personality, go for it, because then you're in front of people's faces like every single day. But even just posting every single day doesn't mean that you're going to get 4, 5, 6, 7 backers every single day. And the longer that you go, the more time, the more opportunity you have for people to actually drop out, because somebody might, just for legitimate reasons even, oh my God, I got in a car accident, I can't afford this right now. So the quicker you can sort of get your goal and get out, the better it's going to be for you. And you won't have as much just sort of like, oh my God, no backers today. Oh God, somebody dropped out for $50, So just a quicker, tighter. I recommend everybody, if you want to go long, go 3 weeks. have no problem with 3 weeks. 3 weeks makes sense to me. But I mean, we've done everything from 24-hour campaigns to 69-hour campaigns to, do it for a weekend, to do it for 4 weeks. Like, and invariably when we get into those longer periods, we always have that dead middle zone, whatever that middle zone.
That's good to know. Because I mean, obviously, all it does is, like you said, the head banging against the wall when you hit a certain point. And I've considered doing that also just for logistical reasons, because Kickstarter pays you out 2 weeks after, and if I fund usually within the first week or so, why am I banging my head against the wall for 3 other weeks?
It's extending your time to get paid for sure. Yeah. If you don't see, here's the thing, and it's all variable. Everything is variable that we're talking about, guys. If you are doing a month campaign and you are seeing success in those middle 2 weeks, I'm not telling you to throw it away. Okay. Right. But if you are doing this again and again, and you're starting to see that happening, just shave off a week, because you're not going to need it. It makes the event tighter. It makes the event shorter. It makes people a little more, oh my God, I got to get in on this because it's only 3 weeks long. That's just my suggestion in that regard.
Yeah. I've been consistently getting backers this whole time, even if it's like a few a day. But I still, I have pride before the fall, so I'm not jinxing anything.
Well, the question is just simply, if you let's say you would get 200 on the campaign for a week or for 4 weeks, right? Just to pick a number, 200 backers. Do you think you'd still get those 200 backers in 3 weeks?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So you don't need the fourth week then.
And even if I did it the fourth week, it would be in demand, which means it could still back.
Yeah. Again, if you want to leave it on in demand, yes, there's a even better reason to shorten the actual campaign.
I've considered that too.
Because if you're going to leave it on in demand, then you might as well just get to in demand as fast as you can and get your payout.
Yeah, I agree. No, I've thought about that a lot. I mean, I'm already in this boat for this one, and I also feel like if I have a bigger goal, like if I have to raise more,
yes,
then you need a longer campaign.
Correct.
But if I don't need a bigger goal and I know this is easy, then why would I do a 30-day campaign?
Don't ever think it's easy.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Don't fall into that trap either.
Yeah, we've seen plenty of people fall into that one. They're like, oh, what the hell?
Yeah. I mean, I have my first. I'm like, oh, it's insert amount. You always expect higher than what it is, but I'm always grateful for what I get.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not expect, I should say. I hope for more than what I.
Yeah. But Anthony, I would give it a couple weeks, right? See if you're not at least up to 80%, 85% in 2 more weeks. If you're still around 40, 50%, maybe at that point you might want to consider. But I would give it at least 2 weeks. Keep hammering your mailing lists, and just keep doing what you got to do, because it's always a struggle. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I mean, the only thing I could do is cancel and, restart again, right? And just do an issue. Do it as an issue, volume 3, issue 1. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Just do it. Only release 24 pages and cut, because I know those 24 pages are ready to go. I know all of it's ready to go, but at least I know the printing cost is lower. I know I've already raised $2,500. I know that covers that print run, and it covers a little bit of my time at least. And if I get more, then if I only go 4 5K, then I know, hey, that's for me, I know the cost to make a graphic novel, because I'm the artist, writer, I'm doing everything, is $12K. You know what I mean? So I'm doing everything. It's about 10 or 12K for a 50-page to paint it in my style, the painterly style. So maybe I just maybe it's worth me pulling the plug and going, all right, I'm going 3 weeks. It's just 1 issue now because you guys aren't fun helping me. You know what I mean? Maybe I'll do it now. Maybe right now I cancel. Hey, I know I literally have up to 24 pages and I just give them that. It's like, if they're not coming to the table, then that's what's going to happen. I could wait 1 more week and then just do a 2-week campaign and say we're only doing it as an issue now. Because it isn't funded. I don't think it's going to fund. And that's at least I can recoup some costs and get $3, even if it's $4,000 or $3,000. That's $4,000 I didn't have. I know I've got, like I said, these are ready to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
But here's the thing: you don't want to panic, right? Because that's where I think you're at. You're at that panic stage. You're like, oh man, you really have a lot of self doubt. And I get it.
Yeah.
But you just gotta keep pushing. Just gotta keep
I
pushing.
can literally give them up to here. You know what I mean? That's quite a
Right.
26. You know, give them 26 and we're done. But like I know what you're saying, but for me as well, I've been doing comics since 2016, since the dawn of Kickstarter, when it was in the golden age of Kickstarter, and
Thank you.
you know, and I've had a D&D book. This book in 2024 raised $70,000. You know, so I don't know if all my audience has shifted and is no longer even interested in comics as well. You know what I mean? Like I've raised collectively $300,000 on Kickstarter since 2016 for comics, books, card games, and all that. Not a brag here. I'm just saying, like, so this is the worst. This is the worst I've had it. And
all of those other things that you're talking about have completely different audiences. People will come for D&D and so on.
Yeah.
So you haven't figured out how to move your audience from your game to your comic.
Well, I was doing comics. Like I said, I've done anthologies. I did comics. The last comic book I did was like 2023. That was 3 years ago. That was this one here. You know what I mean? But even if that one's still funded and it had a nudie comic, it had an NSFW horror with it as well. And but even this Greek Goblin one, it's a funny Goblin comic, a comedy that actually had a dice set with it. Like I was selling a Goblin dice, you know, and the comic probably raised $6,000. So I could look at the figures on the comic and go, what did that get? And go for that. And that was a single issue. So maybe like it's about canceling this and or you know, and starting off with an issue, or you know, that might be, at least there's money. You know, at least I'm going to get some money for my work. You know. So, you know, and I might get more that way. Who knows? I might get $5,000 or $6,000 just for one issue, you know, and then do another book and finish it off as a graphic novel. So, you know, so I don't know.
Like I said, I would give it another week at least. See where you're at in a week, and then assess. Yeah, and then assess at that point.
Yeah. I'll plan like emails and everything and let people know and give it another week until next week, and then maybe rejig it. Maybe cancel and start again. So who knows? We'll see. It's a lot of work doing it because you've got to set up the whole campaign again, all the graphics again.
Right. That's the other portion.
Yeah, you don't want to. So it's like, do I just grind and try and get the money?
Yeah. Kickstarter is yet to what is it? One of the things on the survey when they say what could we do that will help you out? I was like, I can import all of my prior rewards into the new campaign. Especially on the the add-ons. Everything from the last campaign, all at one time.
That would be so much easier. Yeah.
You know, not clicking one at once. No, just give me this whole fucking list.
I agree.
You know? Yeah. All right, gentlemen, thank you so much for being here. We made it to hour 2. So let's start with Randy. Randy, where can we find you and your work, sir?
If you want to talk to me personally, your best bet's probably Facebook. But I do podcast 2 times a week. Friday mornings at 5 a.m. We do Comics by Night, where we look at great old comics. And then Sunday mornings at 9 a.m., and those times are Eastern Standard Times. We also look at comics on the Sunday Funnies. And we've been doing that for a couple of years now. We've gotten a nice big archive of a lot of varying materials of comics from all over the world, and I recommend you go over there and take a look. Other than that, I am writing The Atlantean over at fundmycomic.com. There's only 5 days left on that campaign. There's a lot of different tiers to get in on the book. If you love reading the old style sword and sorcery books, our books are really made to look as close to Savage Sword of Conan as we can possibly get, because Russ just loves John Buscema, loves those old Savage swords. And so we have great barbarian adventures over at fundmycomic.com. Just go over there. We're right on the front page. The Atlantean will be there right next to Bronze Star #2, which is a great werewolf Western by Mike Barron and Pat Broderick. Broderick's probably doing the best artwork you've ever seen him do on that project. It's really, really sweet stuff. Anyway, fundmycomic.com, Comics by Night, Friday mornings, and Sunday Funnies on Sunday mornings. Hope to see you there.
Anthony, where can we find you and your work, sir?
Yeah, so my website is achristouart.com. You can, there's a link to the Kickstarter at the top of the page, the live Dragon comic. Luminous Ages Volume 3 is Dragon Ascensions. It's on Kickstarter right now. You can find it there. And we've still got 24 days, so let's hope it funds.
Yes.
So, yes.
It's
about 40%.
It can make it. It can make it.
Anyway, that's it. Thanks, man. I'm gonna hustle hard for the next week, maybe 2 weeks. And if anyone can help out, I appreciate it. And like I said, if anyone's got a live Kickstarter as well, like if you back me, I back you. So that's one thing I'm doing right now. So if you got something live or you got something you want to share with me, send me. I'm on Facebook as well. So Antonios Christou, you can find me there. My real name is Anthony, but Antonios is the Facebook alter ego. So
right. But you can also do campaign swaps. Add where you.
I'm happy to do. Yeah, happy to do that cross promo with anyone. So and like, but I can back you. You can back me, and I can also do. Can't afford that. I can also do backer updates with you and vice versa. So
exactly.
Yeah,
because I always find that helps. Mr. Tom, where can we find you in your work, sir?
BigDogInc.com. Go get books. Our next campaign will be May 22nd for the final issue of Goth Day. And then in May and June, we start hitting the convention circuit. We'll be flying all over the place this summer. So if you are going to be doing cons, watch for our announcements. We'll be setting up the whole layout pretty soon.
Very nice. Sorry about that. Vaughn seems to have he stepped away. So
watching Laser Blast, he's like, "Oh, I found it! I found it! It's
Must
on
be
TV."
it. Yep,
Yeah,
that must be it.
Everybody, maybe he's ordering the Blu-ray on Amazon.
Could be.
All right, so everybody, please, you can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all those different places. Here Sunday nights, primarily on Kickstarter with Magi's Grace and Rod Espinosa's Adventure Finders. So, actually, before I finish, Vaughn, why don't you let everybody know where they find you and your work? No, that's all right.
He found Laser Blast on Tubi.
Yeah, Laser Blast. Most important, I think, takeaway from the night. I think that Tom said. I think he actually said you have to watch this movie.
God,
nobody's telling you to watch that film.
Yeah,
Nobody.
I'm watching it.
I probably will not. It'll be on the bottom of my watch list.
Yeah, well, we've warned you. First 10 minutes, last 10 minutes, couple things in the middle. There you go.
Okay.
Right. Okay.
You've been warned. Vaughn, but where can we find you in your work, sir?
Yeah, so got my website, rebeloasisstudios.com is where all the books can be found right now. I decided to throw my variant covers up there. On the off chance any of you are going to be at Level Up Expo in Vegas, I'll be there. I'll be at tons of other shows coming up, Heroes Con, Saratoga Comic Con, Denver Fan Expo, Phoenix Fan Fusion, a bunch of shows I've got planned. And obviously, you can find my current book on Kickstarter, Phenomenova Issue 4. Plenty of great stuff on the way. I'm on Global Comics as well. So that's where you can find me.
When is the Vegas show you talked about?
Next weekend, Level Up Expo. It's a gaming convention. So
all right, cool.
I'm curious. Cool. I'll have the market cornered possibly by default for comics.
Never know.
But you never know.
Are you from Vegas? Is that where you're from?
No.
Oh, you're just going out there. Okay.
I had friends that were there. I'm going out there. I'm like, we'll see. Because I talked to Henri. I was getting his advice. He's like, go where there's an audience. And, I'm like, all right.
Yeah. That's true. All right. So back to, like I said, Kickstarter. You can find me on all those different places. Friday nights probably with Jay and Tom. Next Sunday night with Jay and Tom, hopefully. And just remember, everyone, check out the show notes. In the show notes are links for all of these books from all of these creators. Please click on those links, buy those books. These are very impassioned creators. They're doing great work. They're making great comics. So please go check them out. Go buy these books. And thank you so much, everybody. And just remember, read more indie comics, especially ours. Good night, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you.